हरि ओम। ओम ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वतीपतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। विशल चांड शांति मंत्र। ओम आप्यायन्तु ममांगानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेयोपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We shall chant from the first mantra of the second section. Yadi manyase suvedeti daharamivapi nunam tvam vetta brahmano rupam yadasya tvam yadasya deveshu athanumi mamsyamevate manne viditam. नाहं मन्ये सुवेदेति नो न वेदेति वेद च यो नस्तद्वेद तद्वेद नो न वेदेति वेद च यस्यामतं तस्य मतं मतं यस्य न वेद सः अविज्ञातं विजानतां विज्ञातम् अविजानताम्. प्रतिबोध विदितं मतम् अमृतत्वं हि विन्दते आत्मना विन्दते वीर्यं विद्यया विन्दते मृतम्. Hari Om. So we are seeing this beautiful Upanishad, Kena Upanishad from Samaved. So it begins with a question from a disciple who approaches an enlightened teacher. Willed and directed by whom does our mind and senses they function? Because the mind, the senses, the body, everything is inert, jada. So there must be some sentient factor which is propelling them into activity. So the teacher replies that it is the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind, prana of the pranas. It is very subtle. It is also indicated as Brahma, and one who transcends this body, mind, senses and recognizes that Brahma becomes immortal. The eyes cannot reach that Brahma. Means Brahma is not the object of the eyes, ears, nose, nor is it an object of the mind. But Brahma is that which is because of which the mind functions, the eye functions. So it is different from the known and different from the unknown. So having given this teaching, the disciple contemplates on it and approaches the teacher saying that I think I know Brahma. But then the teacher corrects the disciple saying that what you know is only a little form of Brahma. Because already it is said Brahma cannot become the object of our knowledge. So you have to contemplate more. So after going into solitude and contemplating, the disciple realizes that Brahma experiences that Brahma as his own innermost self, and approaches the teacher and says that I know this Brahma. Not that I know it as a concept, but I know the Brahma. And all other students among us who understand what I am saying, they also know that Brahma. That Brahma is unknown to one who thinks he knows. But one who doesn't know that Brahma as a concept, as a bodha in buddhi, is the real knower of that Brahma. That experience of Brahma is different from both the known as well as the unknown. So in order to help us in realizing that Brahma, the Shruti says that pratibodha viditam matam, that Brahma can be recognized in every bodha, every knowledge which happen in our buddhi, that Brahma, which is our own innermost self, can be recognized, can be realized. And only one who realizes that Brahma becomes immortal. And from that Brahma alone, one gains, from that self alone, one gains the strength and power to recognize that Atma. And this Atma Vidya makes a person immortal. So this is the Upalabdhi Dwara which was revealed, which is revealed here. So that Atma, which is our own innermost self, can be recognized in each and every experience of our buddhi. I had given the example of the white light also, which is present in all the lights. So one has to recognize this Atma as Brahma. And it is our own innermost self. It is not a theory, it is not some concept, and it is not something which we are ignorant totally. We have the experience of ourself in the Sushupta Avastha that we have to recognize while awake. That self we have to recognize, realize while we are awake. Let me give one more example before we go to the next verse. That like in a drama, in the good old days, in a natak, in a drama, even the role of a woman was done by a man. Usually they used to have, even now in many villages and all, we have this Pauranik natak, some incident from the Puranas or some incident from the Mahabharata or Ramayana is taken and the Leela is done, like Ram Leela and all. So usually the man used to take the role of a woman. So let us say that a drama is happening on Mahabharata and a man has taken the role of a woman, of Draupadi. So man has become Draupadi. So he is very clean shaven and has worn a very nice sari and good makeup and all is done and various abhushan's and all are put, and this man has become a woman, Draupadi in the Natak. So all the other characters, they refer to him as a woman only. So Arjuna has won Draupadi by hitting the eye of the fish through his bow and arrow, and then she gets married to all the 5 brothers. So all this is happening in the drama, and this person who is acting like a Draupadi is being looked upon as a woman by all other characters, and also by the audience who is sitting there. They also recognize him as a woman only, because the way he is walking, way he is talking, way he is dressed, everything is a woman only. But if you ask that person, who are you? That person says, I am a man. So how do you know that you are a man? Because you are dressed like a woman, you talk like a woman, everyone interacts with you as a woman. So how do you know that you are a man? So he says, I know. Even when I am acting like a woman, I know that I am man. I don't have to remove my dress to know that I am man. I know at every moment that I am man. Even when I am being dragged into the darbar by Dushasan, I know that I am man. Even when he is trying to disrobe me, I know I am man. Though I am crying, weeping and invoking the Devata to help me, invoking Krishna to help me, I know that I am a man. So this person, at all times, in all situations in the drama, knows that he is man. How does he know? Because behind every scene, behind every step which he takes in the drama, that man is always there. He is hidden, but he is present. So how he knows that he is man? Because before the drama started, he was a man. And after the drama gets concluded, he knows he is a man. But even when the drama is happening, he knows that he is a man. So while the drama is happening, he recognizes himself as a man. If this is understood, same thing we have to do in our sadhana. See, when we are in deep sleep state, we are alone with ourself, our own innermost self, which is called Pratyak Atma, which is called Kshetrajna, which is called Purusha, which is called Jiva, which is also indicated as Karta, Bhokta. That Atma is alone in deep sleep. But in waking and dream, it is as though we have put on a makeup. We assume a role of a man, of a woman, of a young, of an old person, of a grahasti, of a sannyasi, whatever different roles we have. And we keep knowing the world, interacting with the world. But even when all this interaction is happening, I should know that I am that Sushupta Atma. I am that Atma which is separate from the body, separate from the mind, in which there is no activity of knowing, in which there is no activity of doing, or there is no activity of enjoying is happening. That Atma am I, that recognition we should have while we are awake. Means without having to remove our body, our mind, we should be able to recognize that self in the waking itself. Because it is present even now. So one who is able to do this will become free of this samsara. But one who fails to do this continues to remain in this samsara. But we should put forth effort to realize this while living in this world. And that is what is said now in this last mantra of this section, the fifth mantra. So let us chant. Iha cheda vedit atha satyamaste na chediha avedit mahati vinashtihi bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha pretyasmad lokad amruta bhavanti. Once more. Iha cheda vedit atha satyamaste na chediha vedit mahati vinashtihi bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha pretyasmad lokad amruta bhavanti. The Upanishad says ki iha chet avedit. Iha means in this lifetime, while living in this world. Iha eva chet manushyaha adhikrutaha samartaha san yadi. We have gained this human life, so we have gained lot of we have the chance of gaining liberation. So having attained this world, having attained a human life form, if we put forth effort to realize this Brahma, which is our own self, Brahma which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Brahma which is the very cause of this world. The whole world is Brahma's Swarup only, and that Brahma is our own innermost self. If we realize this Brahma, means experience that Brahma as our own self directly, it's called avagati. If we can do it by following the path shown by the Shastra, by taking help of this Upalabdhi Dwara, if we are able to realize ourselves, then the Shastra say, Athas Satyam Asti, then it is true fulfillment of our life. So here the Upanishads, the Shastra is telling us that our real purpose and aim and goal of our life should be to realize our own self. If we do that, then it is we have made good use of our life. But if we fail to do it, na ched iha avedit, means if we fail to recognize, realize our own self when we are given this opportunity, then mahati vinashtihi, then it is a great, great loss that we had gained this human life, but we have wasted it. It will be a great, great loss. See, this is very, very important, and it is applicable for all of us. Many times we feel that this self-realization is meant for some other people, for the sadhus, sannyasis, for some other people. No, it is meant for every one of us. Whether you are a brahmachari, grahasti, vanprasti, sannyasi, whether you are young or old, whether you are of any religion, any caste, any creed, any nation, it doesn't matter. Because what the Upanishad is telling is for the entire humanity. And the dwar, the technique, the reality is pointed out very clearly. But one has to put forth effort to recognize it. If we fail to do this, then it is a great loss. See, many times we get involved with the world around us. We get involved with our own family, earning, taking care of all the family members, this, that and all. In that only the whole time goes. Or we get involved with some other activity in the society or in the nation, busy doing something. And a lot of time we become busy by thinking that it is a very important thing which we are doing. So neglecting our spiritual goal, we become busy in pursuing some other so-called goals of life, either personal or with respect to the family, society, nation, environment, whatever it is. And in that way, we waste our time. We sometimes postpone that, okay, not now, I will take this spiritual path very seriously after a few years, after retirement, after the marriage of my children, after this work is done, after I go there, and all sorts of things, we postpone it. So the scripture is warning us that don't do this, that you put forth effort to realize your own self. Otherwise it will be a great loss. See, all the things with which we are busy, which we think important, with which we are totally engaged in this world, will just disappear once we leave this world. See, death doesn't wait for anyone. When the time comes, immediately we have to leave. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvat jivitam atishaya chapalam. Vidhi vyadhya bhimanagrastam lokam shoka hatancha samastam. Just like a water on a leaf is so temporary that one moment it is on the leaf and next moment it falls off. Similarly, our life also is very temporary, very unpredictable. And once we leave this world, immediately the whole thing becomes like a dream only to us. All that we thought is very important and all just disappears, because only with respect to this body we are experiencing this world. once we drop this body, the connection with this world also gets broken. Just like when we dream, we might be experiencing the most elaborate and beautiful dream, but as soon as you wake up, you might remember that dream for some time. But afterwards, even if you try, you cannot remember that dream. It just goes away, disappears like a smoke in the sky, just disappears. Similarly, when we are alive, everything is so important and so very important to us. But once we leave this body, all this world and all the politics and all the drama and all important things and all everything just goes away. And the next birth when we will get, we don't know. We might be born again if our karmas are good as human being. Maybe after many years, immediately we can't take birth. So after many years when we are born, suppose we are born again after 100 years. So in 100 years you will find that the whole world has changed totally. One may not even have the opportunity to study these Shastras. The whole world has changed. Things are different. You are born after 100 years. The lifestyle is different. This pandemic and all must be the regular thing in the world during that time. People are walking around with their own personal oxygen cylinders, interacting with each other only on some electronic media. Things are becoming rare everywhere. Talking about spirituality and all might become just a outdated thing. So all these things will happen and we will be totally lost in such a world. So now that we have the opportunity, we can even listen to these Upanishads, which is such a rare thing. One should make full use of it. Give it attention. Because this is given to us, this opportunity is given to us by Ishvara himself. So when we don't make use of this opportunity, it is like an insult to that Ishvara. Ishvara gives this opportunity, but we just waste it in some other activities. So it is not a proper thing. So here the Upanishad very clearly it says that iha ched avedit atha satyam asti. If you realize this Brahma in this lifetime only, whatever be your background, it doesn't matter. Whatever be your age, whatever be your other qualifications and all, everyone has got this opportunity to realize. Because it is very close, it is very near. Our self is the nearest to us. What is required is just to have an attention on it, understand it and pay attention to it, and gain that abidance in this self. That is the first thing which one has to do. So, iha ched avedit atha satyam asti. Then only we have fulfilled our life. We have done what we have to do. Because after lot of struggle and lot of good karmas, we have gained this human birth. Wherever we are, even if we are in the poorest family or in the most troubling condition, that also is better to be a human being, because only a human being has got this ability to introspect, to recognize his own self. Animal, birds, plant, they don't have. Even the devatas, they also find it difficult to realize that self. So, na che deha avedit mahati vinashti. If we don't realize, then it is a great loss. And how does we realize it? He says, dhiraha, the wise, intelligent seeker, who follows the path properly shown by the Shastras. Such a seeker, bhuteshu vichitya, he recognizes that Brahma as his own self, not only in this body, but he recognizes his own self in every being. Bhuteshu vichitya, in every being. Sarva bhuteshu stavareshu chareshu cha ekam atmatattvam brahma vichitya vidnyaya sakshat krutya. That ek tattva, that Brahma, which is our own innermost self, that same self is present in all beings. See, first we have to recognize that our own innermost self. Then we have to understand that the same inner self is present in all the beings. In not only human beings but animal, bird, plants, it is present everywhere in the same way. So one has to realize this self in all beings. Bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha. So having realized the self as the self of all beings, means gaining that sarvatma bhav, that the self in me is the self in all. See, we think that I am only in this body because of the identification with this body. But when I recognize myself as I am, then I will know that I am not limited to this body. I am present everywhere. Just as a space which is experienced in a pot, once we experience the space, we will know that the same space is present everywhere in all the pots. Similarly, when we realize ourself, we will know that the same self, I alone am there in everyone. So when I see a tree, I know that I myself am that tree. I am that bird. I am the animal. I am the plant. I am the devatas. I am in the sun. I am in the moon. I am present everywhere. I am not confined only to this particular body. So, bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha pretyasma lokad amruta bhavanti. And when the body gets dropped, as long as the prarabdha of the body is there, the body will continue to exist. And once the body is dropped, then the enlightened person is not born again. Pretyasmat lokad amruta bhavanti. He becomes immortal. He becomes immortal means what? He says, dhiraha dhimantaha pretya vyavritya mama aham bhava lakshanat avidya rupat asmat lokat. So when he transcends this ignorance, because of which there is identification with this body as I, my, etc. After transcending this, uparamya sarvatma eka bhavam advaitam apannaha, comes to realize that one Atma, that I alone am there, the self of all. And having realized this, amruta bhavanti means brahmaiva bhavanti iti arthaha. He becomes that Brahma. The enlightened person who knows his own self as Brahma becomes Brahma. Means there is no difference between Brahma and an enlightened person. So just as the Brahma is present everywhere, the enlightened person is present everywhere. Just as Brahma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, the enlightened person is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Shankaracharya ji quotes from Mundaka Upanishad कि सो स यो हवै तत्परम ब्रह्म वेद ब्रह्मैव भवति. The one who knows that Brahma becomes Brahma. Now, in a state of ignorance, one feels that I am the body, I am the mind, I am born, I will die. But once that Brahma is realized, comes to know that I am Brahma, I am neither born nor does I die, everything is myself. Everything is myself only, everything is my own play. So Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. So thus concludes this beautiful section, the second section. Now this third section is very, very interesting. In this third section, there is a story of a yaksha. It's called Yaksha Upakhyan. Through this story, that supreme reality which is conveyed in the previous two sections, they are conveyed with the help of this story of this yaksha. So the Upanishad begins from a very high standpoint for Uttam Adhikari, but there are those who may not be able to comprehend what is being said in these two sections. So in order to make it more easy for the Madhyam Adhikari, the Upanishad is conveying the same truth with the help of a story. So it is called Upakhyan, a story, Yaksha Upakhyan, of a Yaksha, means the most worshipful Ishvara, who out of compassion he manifested himself as a Yaksha in front of the Devatas. So I will briefly tell you this story, and then we will see the beautiful commentary which is written in this Vakya Bhashya. See, as I had mentioned in the introductory my talk, that Bhagwan Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji has written a bhashya on this called Pada Bhashya, but there is one more bhashya available on this Upanishad called Vakya Bhashya. which many scholars they think that it is also written by Adi Shankaracharya, but many say that it is not written by Adi Shankaracharya. So even my teacher thinks that it is not written by Adi Shankaracharya. But this bhashya is also equally beautiful because it conveys the truth in a slightly different way, and it is what is said here in this Vakya Bhashya is also in tune with the teaching of Adi Shankaracharya. If anything is not in tune with Adi Shankaracharya's teaching, then those things we should not read or study. But if it is in tune with Adi Shankaracharya's teaching, then it will be helpful to understand and study that also. So this Vakya Bhashya is in tune with Adi Shankaracharya's teaching. See, there are certain other texts like Vivek Chudamani or Tattva Bodh, Atma Bodh, Dirgdrishya Vivek, Panchadashi. They are good, but they are not in tune with Adi Shankaracharya's teachings. So one should not study them or should study them with proper care. Otherwise, there is a chance of misunderstanding. But here, this Vakya Bhashya is beautiful, especially on this section, the third section. It is very beautifully written, so that we will study in some more detail. But in order to understand this Bhashya, we should know the story, this Yaksha Upakhyan. So briefly I will tell you the story of this Yaksha, and then we will see the Bhashya, and thereafter we can study the story in detail. So that Brahma, which is indicated as different from the known and unknown, which is indicated as the ear of the ear, eye of the eye, that Brahma is what you call he, because of him only the Devtas, they won a victory. So just as we are here as human beings, in the other lokas, there are those devatas are there. The Agni Devta, Vayu Devta. In this loka also, the Vayu Devta, Agni Devta is there. We can't see them directly, but we can see their expression as the Agni, as Vayu, as Jala. So these Devtas, they usually have a fight with the Asuras, because the Asuras, they always create obstacles in the path of these Devtas. So now and then the Asuras and Devtas, they have a fight. So once they had this war, the Devtas and Asuras, and the Devtas, they won this war. They attained victory. But whatever, as we have seen, that whatever anyone does, it is done by that presence of Brahma only. Because of that Brahma only our senses, our mind function. Without that Brahma, all these equipments will not function. So, because of the grace of that Brahma alone, the Devatas, they attain victory. Brahmaha devebhyo vijigye tasyaha brahmano vijaye deva amahiyanta. So, due to the grace of Brahma, the Devatas gained victory and they became, they attain greatness, they attain glory in the world. But not knowing that our glory is because of Brahma, the Devatas became very proud. Ta akshanta asmakam eva ayam vijayo, asmakam eva ayam mahima iti. So they started thinking that, oh, this is our glory, it is our mahima, we have won this war, we are great. So when Brahma understood this, that these Devatas have become proud, Devatas are thinking that it is because of them only they have won this glory. So when they became proud in this way, so Brahma, out of his compassion, manifested as a yaksha for that sake. Tad haisham vijadnyo tebhyoha pradurbabhuva. For that sake, Brahma took avatar as a yaksha. Yaksha means a very worshipful, very, very pleasant form Bhagwan took. And he presented himself in front of those Devatas. So the Devatas suddenly they noticed this Yaksha and they did not know who this Yaksha is. Tanna Vejanata kim idam Yakshamiti. They did not know who is this Yaksha. So they were quite puzzled. So the Devatas requested Agni Devata that, oh Agni Devata, please go and see who this Yaksha is. Te Agnim Abruvan Jata Veda Etad Vijanihi Kim Idam Yakshamiti Tatheti. Then Agni Devata said, yes, I will go and see who this Yaksha is. So the Agni Devata, very proud of his own achievements and his own personality, he rushed towards that Yaksha and stood in front of that Yaksha, did not speak anything, was looking at that Yaksha. So the Yaksha asked him, Ki ko asau? Who are you? Ko asiti? Who are you? So Agni said, I am Agni. I am the all-knower, Agni. So the Yaksha asked that Agni Devata, that what is your speciality, what is your strength? What is your viryam? So Agni said that I can burn anything in this world. Whatever is there, I can just burn it into ashes. That is my strength, that is my power. That is who I am. Api idam sarvam daheyam yadidam prathivyamiti. So that Yaksha, he just removed one blade of grass and he kept in front of that Agni And he said that, okay, you have such a great strength, power, why don't you burn this blade of grass? So Agni just tried to burn that, but it did not get burnt. Then he used all his power and strength to burn that little blade of grass. But he could not burn it. So he felt very ashamed, and he just withdrew from there and went to the Devatas and said, I could not find who this Yaksha is. Naitad ashakam vidnyatum yadetad yakshamiti. I don't know who this Yaksha is. So then the Devatas, they requested Vayu Devata, that you go and find out who this Yaksha is. Then Vayu Devata went in front of that Yaksha and with lot of pride. So Yaksha asked him that, who are you? He said, I am Vayu. I am also called Matarishva. So Yaksha asked him that, what is your speciality? What can you do? What is your power? He said, I can lift. I can take away anything in this world with my power and force. You see the power of wind in this world. It can uproot huge trees and just take away things. So I can just lift anything in this world. So the Yaksha kept that blade of grass in front of him and said, okay, you lift this blade of grass. So Vayu, with all his power and force, tried to lift that little blade of grass, but he could not. So he also felt ashamed and he withdrew from there and went back to the Devatas. And he said, I could not understand who this Yaksha is. I do not know who this Yaksha is. Then they requested Indra Bhagwan that you are the king, our king. So you please go and see who this Yaksha is. So Indra Bhagwan goes to that Yaksha. But before Indra Bhagwan could reach that Yaksha, Yaksha just disappears. He antardhan ho jate hai. He just vanishes. Because that Indra also was full of pride and that I am Indra, I am the king of all these devatas and I have won this victory, gained this victory. So Yaksha disappeared and Indra Bhagwan also felt ashamed. But he just waited there. And in the same place where the Yaksha was, a beautiful Devi appeared there. So Yaksha, the Indra asked her that who was this Yaksha? So that Devi was Uma Parvati, and she told this Indra that that Yaksha is Brahma, and by his kripa only, all of you have attained victory. So she revealed the knowledge of that Brahma. And then Indra Bhagwan understood, realized that that Yaksha is Brahma, and by his grace only everything happened. So then he came and told other devatas also. So they also understood that Yaksha is Brahma. They also recognized that Brahma. So since in this Agni and Vayu Devata had approached that Yaksha, and Indra also came to know that Yaksha is Brahma, so this they became they gained that Mahima of knowing that Brahma. And Indra Bhagwan actually realized that Brahma, so he attained greatness, that he know that he came to realize that Brahma. So this is the story. Briefly I told you the story, but we will see each and every mantra in detail. But before that, we will see this Bhashya, Vakya Bhashya. In this, the Bhashyakar, he tells us what is the purpose of this Upakhyan, and also a very beautiful what you call argument, debate is there about the existence of Ishvara. So very beautiful portion. So that we will see in detail in our next class, our class tomorrow. So till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. Do your work, do your sadhana, and listen to this pravachan again, contemplate and read Bhashya, Shankar Bhashya. You can also read this Vakya Bhashya. And tomorrow we shall meet and continue with our studies. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. जय जय राम। बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।